is a Wee Natter. I'm Mark Steele, and across the table from me is...
Jenny Steele.
And we're joining you on the week where... This is going to sound bonkers, right? But you know the Mission Impossible theme tune?
Yeah.
How does it go?
Yeah, how does it go? I got do, 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 do. Is that
exactly.
it?
Dun, 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 dun. Well, apparently that beat, dun, 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 that's M-I, as in the Mission Impossible, in Morse code. It's the two letters, M-I, in Morse code. Don't know when that'll be useful other than a pub quiz, but we're all about sharing information with you, dear listener, on this fine podcast thingamabob. And in other news... Talking of sharing information, the postbag has arrived.
Hooray.
The last postbag before Christmas.
Oh, I don't know if I'm sad.
I can't believe I'm saying it out loud.
I know.
And we asked you what the worst present you've ever received or given was.
Yes.
Yes, quite a question to be asked. And starting with slap-ups.
Hello, slap-ups.
Ex-girlfriend, so one would assume that she knew a bit about him.
Yeah.
You'd hope that,
You would, yeah.
Maybe this is why they're ex. One's got them a brand new footy jersey and club jacket for a team.
They don't support.
Spot on. They did not support. The local opposition shop had some new stock coming.
But they did.
Yeah. That's what I can tell you. One place that'll never happen is with solid radio gear.
Yeah.
I will be personally offended if any of our mugs end up at Oxfam.
Oh, I would. I would.
It's gonna happen somewhere.
No, it can't do.
Yeah, what if you were one of those people that created merchandise, or you designed these things, or you put all that effort into it, and then you saw your piece of art, piece of work sitting there in Oxfam, or one of the insert any other charity shop here, like Heart Foundation, whatever. Would you feel like you're bringing joy to the world going through a charity shop where it'd be, oh my, they didn't like it that much, they passed it on?
Yeah, I'd be gutted. Yeah.
I don't know which side I'd fall on.
I don't think I like that at all.
I don't know which way I'd genuinely go. Age has also been in touch with what can only be described as a confession, which means we have to get the music going with the nice, I assume Gregorian chanting or something like that. It's just something I found on the internet. And they say, in my group house days, I remember those, with girlfriends, I would always pinch something of theirs, like a comb or one sock late in October, early November.
Yeah.
You see where this is going?
Wait, go on.
Then wrap it up and put it under a tree for them. Oh, the chuckles and swearing. I was about to get really angry reading that, and then I realised I've been missing a trick here. And I feel like a mug for actually going out and buying all those presents over the years.
Didn't even think about it.
On that note, let's have a wee natter. I can't believe it's finally here, but it is indeed finally here after way too many weeks. It's the final in our hunt for the best mince pie in Britain for 2022. If your favourite has not made it onto the list for trying, it's too late now.
I'm sorry.
Unless you literally special opt your way into our house while this is being recorded, which is a bit of an extreme way to influence our opinion. But we do have not one, not two, but three contenders to look at this week. And the first of them, well, what are you going to give us, Jenny?
Shall we do I don't know how to pronounce this very is it frangipan? Frangipan?
So what's happened here is we sent Jenny out to get some mince pie.
Yeah.
And she's come back with, I think it's pronounced frangipan. Or frangipan, something like that. Mince pies. It's a mince pie on the bottom, but then on the top, it's a Bakewell tart.
It's gorgeous.
And bim bam boozle.
Well, it looks gorgeous.
Well, I'm assuming it's edible, otherwise I wouldn't be selling it.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether this qualifies as mince pie. But I'm going to let you, I'm going to be kind because it's the last week of the competition. I'm going to let you run with it. So, on your free scoring options, what were they?
Looks, taste, and texture. It's an Aldi one, isn't it, this one?
It is
Aldi, yeah.
It is one of the budget supermarkets, yes.
Yeah.
It is Aldi indeed. Yep. How does it look?
Well, when you look at it, it just looks like a Bakewell tart because it's got the almonds on top and it's got like the spongy top.
Yeah.
So it does look quite appealing, I've got to be honest. It looks quite nice. And let's just have a bit of a smell. You can smell the, what is it that goes into a Bakewell? What's that spice? Almond. Is it almond oil? Almond essence?
I always think arsenic because that's or is it cyanide or whatever it is. You know, the poison that they tell you smells of almonds. Not that I'm insinuating anything, Aldi.
So it's come out the case all right. It's not crumbled. As a Bakewell tart, it's really nice. As a mince pie, I don't think it's scoring.
So where are you putting it on your list?
I still think it's better than Co-op, because Co-op... Sorry, Co-op.
Let's get this right. So you're saying an actual mince pie doesn't meet the same standard as this weird hybrid of multiple different cakes? Wow. Okay, so where are you putting it in the list?
Beats Co-op. I think it actually beats the Asda one as well.
So just below Coupland's?
Yes.
Very much middle of the table. So
it's quite nice.
So the frangipane ones are middle of the table, position number 7
Oh dear.
out of 12. How is it a mid-table? I don't get it. It's blowing my mind. But the next option is, well, it's the last of the supermarkets. Iceland.
I hate Iceland.
Well, somebody hates Iceland. We don't know. We haven't tried it. It'd be a bit unfair. But Iceland is our last supermarket option. Tell us what you think of the looks, Miss J.
I like this one because, again, it's got the Christmas... I never know if it's a star or a snowflake. And it's got the dusting of the icing sugar on the top, so it looks very festive.
All right.
You know, how a mince pie should be. So, let's have a look. Has it got any alcohol in it, as they always say? Does it say it's got
I
alcohol
don't think
in
you
it?
can ignite it.
Well, I'm not really getting any, like, juicy texture of, like, currants or the flavouring or anything like that. I'm just getting pastry. So I'm going to say for the taste, oh gosh, I think it's on par with Asda, you know.
Oh, wow. Okay. So so which one are you going to put ahead, Asda or Iceland?
I'll put Iceland ahead of Asda.
Okay. So Iceland comes just behind the frangipane ones and ahead of Asda.
It's a shame because it looks really nice.
It does look really nice. And for our final contender
Oh, yes.
for 2022, we follow up with a certain Mr. Kipling.
Shall we see if he makes exceedingly good mince pies?
I have been told to stress he has nothing to do with a certain Rudyard Kipling. They are different people.
Right, let's try Mr. Kim again. It looks nice. It's got the star on the top, and then it's got like a little star imprint on the top of a star, so it looks quite festive. No dusting. I think it's one of your basic mince pies again, isn't it? I don't think it's got any... Has it got any alcohol in? Does it say
Why are
on the
you
box?
looking for alcohol in the mince
Because
pie?
alcohol makes it a lot more tastier and juicier, I think.
Oh, well, I'll take your word for it.
That's nice. Pastry's nice. I'm not going to put it as number 1. I can't. No,
Where are you putting it now?
I'm going to put it as... Because we've got Marks and Spencer's. We did Greg's.
No. So your top 3 are Greg's, Tea Incorporated, and Marks and Spencer's in at number 1.
I'm going to put it at number 4.
You're going to put number 4?
Yeah.
Ahead of Sainsbury's. Mr. Kipling, you have taken it at number 4. So, what does that do for our countdown? Going in reverse order, you have Co-op. And it is what it is. You know, we're not going to complain about these things. Then Aldi, Morrison's, Waitrose, Asda. We also had Iceland, the frangipane weirdy ones from Aldi, which I don't think should officially count, but whatever. Coupland's, Tesco Finest, Sainsbury's, Mr. Kipling, and then your top 3 were Greg's, Tea Incorporated, and your number 1 mince pie for 2022 is Marks and Spencer's.
Hey! I just knew it all along. I knew it.
You knew?
Well, I just thought, no, I don't really like, no, nothing's going to beat this taste. And some of our regular listeners and fans of Sooty have been out sourcing Marks and Spencer's mince pies, and they've all come back and let Sooty know that they are the best that they've tasted, and they shall be purchasing M&S mince pies for Christmas.
And with that very important knowledge, you can now safely stuff your face
Yeah.
for Christmas 2022. In case you've not noticed, it is that time of the year when the weather turns a whit colder and the family start rocking up unannounced. Is it just me, or do they always end up staying longer than feels comfortable?
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know who's listening out there.
Well, the real question I've got here is, how do you politely but firmly tell Aunt Doris she has to live in her own house?
I know. It's tricky, isn't it? Do you come around with your dressing gown on, going, oh, keep yawning out loud? Oh, it's late, isn't it? Even when it's like 9 o'clock.
Yeah, but then they'll just go, oh yeah, well, let's stick a film on or something like that. You could start asking, what's your plan for New Year's? Is it a problem if the answer's saying, well, staying at your place? You can also take it to the next level, so how long will it take you to drive home tomorrow?
Tomorrow? That's how long you'll be taking to drive home tonight.
Yeah, and some stubborn people will just look back and say something about, going to the park rather than going home tomorrow. They'll say something like that.
Yeah.
The one I found that really works, so this is a bit of genuine advice for you, dear listener. Put all their bags out in the front garden, along with a note saying free to a good home. There's just some minor possibility of it backfiring, but the message will be very clear, even if your guest room isn't.
So, you know how I love going in coffee shops and having coffee and cake, and I know a few of our listeners like to do exactly the same thing.
Right.
So I don't know if you think this is a bad thing or what, but one of my friends and an avid listener of our shows had gone out to a particular coffee shop, and she wanted to, she don't drink coffee, she only likes tea, but I can get these Christmas fancy coffees and you get like a Terry's chocolate orange on top of it, or a Toblerone sweetie on top of the, that sort of thing.
It's the whole thing of it's that time of year where they make everything as sickly as possible. Yeah,
Black Forest Gatto,
we've got
coffee.
We've got past the pumpkin,
but
we're still into this needs a ton of sweeties on top of it. I know the sort of thing.
Yeah, that sort of thing. So if you don't like hot chocolate, if you don't like coffee, but you like the sweeties, is it a bad thing? Is if you go and you're ordering like a pot of tea or something and you ask if you could have one of the sweeties. I think on this occasion it was one of the little Toblerones. And she was told no. And the reason why is they have to count every single one of them. Now, I actually don't believe that, do you? I think that's quite tight.
I see both sides on this, so I totally see where you're coming from. Like, well, I just want to buy one of the sweeties that goes on top, I just want a wee sweetie with my tea or whatever that's not one of the big fancy coffees. I understand that, but I also understand the coffee vendor wanting to go, well, actually, if you want one of these wee sweeties, you've got to have the fancy coffee that we're selling it with, because, it's part of the package deal. I could see both sides on this one.
I just think it's a bit of a shame, really, because on the same chain, but a different, because are they, they're like franchised, aren't they? When they was asked if they could have a chockey, they was given, like a few. So I think it all depends on the actual person who's franchised this particular. I don't want to mention the name of the company, but
I know what you're saying. But the ultimate solution to this is just to not to go to the coffee shop and just go to an actual shop and just buy the full size version.
Pick and mix.
If you've never worked in customer service, consider yourself lucky, dear listener. Have you ever worked in customer service, Jenny?
Oh, I have, yeah.
It's never fun, is it?
No.
But out of all the experiences you've had, what's the daftest thing you've ever been asked when you've been working in customer service?
I can't think of anything that's daft. I've had like just the generic like password resets all the time. I can't remember the passwords, but the daftest thing.
Well, if you're not had anything daft, that's fair enough.
No, I don't know if I have.
It is what it is. Well, I've got a few, weirdly. I worked at a call centre for one of the supermarkets, dear listener, and I used to get people asking for, the opening hours of the competitor over the road. Yeah. But one of the best ones I got was asked if we had a specific brand of butter in stock. Clearly, they've got a favourite choice.
Yeah.
So they were going, right, have you got this in stock? I'll look it up. It's like 600 tubs in, and there's a delivery coming later in the day. It's got even more on board. So I say, there's some in stock. We might have some in stock. We might manage to give some butter to you in exchange for some money. And I tell them, genuinely, we've got like 600 tubs of stuff. There's a pause, and then, can you keep one back for me, please?
Oh.
As if all 600 would be sold in the 10 minutes it takes them to get to the shop. So I'm going to open this up to you, dear listener, you, Jenny, as well. What is the daftest thing a customer or client has ever asked you for? It doesn't have to be in retail. It doesn't have to be in customer service. What is the daftest thing a customer or client has asked you? At Solid Radio UK or at Solid Sooty on the socials, or if you are listening on Spotify, there is a little pop-up where this exact question has just appeared. You tap on it, you stick your answer in, and it's by magic, it's shared among all of us. And we will reveal all your answers in a future episode. I know it must seem like a distant memory nowadays, especially when I mention a certain weather condition as part of this question, but do you remember snow days as a kid?
Yeah, we never got a time off school though.
No.
No, we never got the heatings packed up. you're not coming in or whatever, we was wading to school in what we used to call drifting snow, which I don't know if you get much of that nowadays. Well, not down this end of the world anyway.
No, and it's very different from snow days as an adult, isn't it? Which mostly consists of moaning while you dig your car in and out of work. Although, to be fair, even as a kid, my school would be the last one in Fife to close. They would hold out as long as possible. So many walks to the gates only to be turned around with, we're closed. It was announced on the radio or something. And you're like, well, it wasn't before I set off.
I know.
So what do you remember doing on snow days? What sort of things do you remember?
Sledging. We had this old-fashioned sledge in the family that we used to, it passed down from all my brothers to finally was to me. It was one of those really old-fashioned wooden ones. It was just fantastic. And we get all as you did in the olden days, everyone. You just hung around with everybody that lived on your street and you'd just go out and spend the day sledging and snowballing and making snowmen. It was brilliant.
Oh, so you made snowmen?
Yeah.
How big would you say your snowman got?
Massive, because we had a big piece of green out the front of all our houses and we used to just use that to build the snowman. So we'd just roll it and roll it and roll it. And it'd be about probably as tall as about a 4-foot snowman.
Amateur. That's what amateur. Apparently, the tallest snowman in the world, according to Guinness Book of Records or whatever it is, 122 feet. Your 4 foot is nothing.
No, not like that.
Nothing compared to this snowman. However, I've got a picture of it here, dear listener.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think it's a snowman. I don't think it counts.
Is it a telegraph pole?
Well, to be a snowman, it's got to be, like you said, made up of balls that you've rolled around until and then you sort of pack it in place so it doesn't roll off. Yeah. This one looks like a white cone with an 8-foot carrot stuck on its face.
Oh.
It feels like cheating when I look at it. But the real question I have, did your snowman ever come to life?
No, unfortunately.
I'll be honest, I'd be leaving a brown trail in the snow if I saw mine come to life.
Yeah.
Channel 4, I know what you're going to be doing on Christmas Eve. It's not cute. It's a horror show.
Can I just say, Christmas Eve is not Christmas Eve without the snowman.
What, the creepy coming to life snowman?
I love the snowman.
I don't get how it's cute and all that.
It is.
I understand it's a cartoon, it's all lovely, warm, all that. But if it happened in real life and your snowman made of the half-dirty snow from outside your house...
Oh, no, but the snow dog's even sadder. I can't watch that. That makes you cry, the snow dog.
Yeah, we try not to think of the snow dog.
No.
That was unfortunately a wee natter, and, well, we're only going to be sort of back next week, which sounds rather confusing, but I shall explain. So we're on our travels, dear listener, which means you're not going to have a wee natter as it normally happens. Instead, you're going to get a little Christmas special next week, yeah.
I bet they can't wait.
I know nothing about this Christmas special other than involves Christmas music and a whole bunch of other topics looking back over the year.
Yeah.
However, because it is involving music, if you're listening onto this on anything other than Spotify, you won't get this special. It is a Spotify exclusive, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We're just not made of money, so we can't put it on the other platforms.
It's worth getting Spotify for, I think.
Yeah, if it gets you this thing. So, yes, the Wee Natter will be back next week as a bit of a weird Christmas special. Otherwise, if you're not able to get Spotify, we'll be back in that awkward bit between Christmas and New Year, which nobody really ever knows what to do with.
I know what they can do with it.
What?
You know how we've done the Great Mince Pie Challenge of Christmas 2022? We're now looking for some challenge for 2023. First thing that's popped into my head is Valentine's Day in Feb. Do you buy your other half like chocolates? Could we do the best chocolate gift, like a chocolate taste thing, like, Hotel Chocolat, Thornton's, Cadbury's, that sort of thing, to establish what the best chocolate will be for giving on Valentine's Day in 2023? Or for just giving. Doesn't have to be Valentine's Day.
And then to balance it out, Jenny will be looking for the best chip shop, and it is every unhealthy food every unhealthy food you can think of. Remember, whatever way you happen to get this podcast every week, remember to hit the subscribe button, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah.